So I wanted to speak to you about what I think, in my opinion, is one of the most important ways we can approach our life. And that is to really be in alignment with what our hearts and our minds truly want. And that involves knowing ourselves. You know, I think it was Socrates, the great Greek philosopher, who said, "Know thyself." And certainly in my life, knowing who I am, what I want, being in alignment with that has certainly been a very, very important theme. And it's something that I think can bring us happiness. And the opposite is true as well. When we don't know ourselves and we're not in alignment, I think it can create a lot of misery in our lives. So how do we know ourselves? And I just want to share some ideas about that with you. The famous Swiss psychoanalyst, Carl Rogers, has a quote that often makes me think. And the quote goes like this: "The world will ask you who you are. And if you don't know, it will tell you." That's really interesting. The world will ask you who you are, and if you don't know, it will tell you. And we live in a world where, whether it's the media, whether it's other people, whether it's our friends, our society, our culture, various factors, various influences are always trying to tell us who we should be and how we should think. And if you don't really know what you're about, then the world and the media and everyone else is ready to tell you, this is who you are. In my own life, there has certainly been times where I haven't really been aligned with my own heart's desires, where I haven't really been aligned with who I really am. And I've kind of been in a situation where it's like I'm not being true to myself. And you can never really be happy when you're not true to yourself, in my opinion. So this whole idea about not being influenced by everybody else, not being influenced by society and by, you know, your friends or social media or whatever it is, and really getting to know who you are and what you want, what your true desires are, is so, so important. Know thyself, know who you are. And this is why I love spending time in nature, because when you spend time in nature, you get to really clarify what's important to you. What are you about? What do you feel about things? You're able to slow down and process your thoughts, your emotions, your feelings. So I would say, to get to know yourself and to know who you are, spending time in nature is a very powerful thing that you can do. I'd also say that just learning to take time out from social media and switch off your phone sometimes and just cut off from things gets you to actually explore your inner world, the world of your thoughts and your emotions. That's been very powerful for me. This idea about knowing ourselves, right, is so important, because I think we're going to make decisions that are just so much more aligned. We're going to be happier people. I've seen it so many times where people are not really in touch with themselves. They're not in touch with their own thoughts and their feelings, their emotions. And because of that, they make decisions that are just not aligned to who they really are, because they don't really know who they are. They've not taken that time to get to know themselves. So what they end up doing, let's do a job just because it's good money, for example, right? You go down a career path and, you're not really happy, but you're doing it because for reasons that might not be the best reasons for you, or you marry someone for superficial reasons and you're not happy in that relationship, or, and it applies to many, many different areas of life. When you don't know yourself, you're kind of unconscious. You're cut off from who you really are. And that's why this idea about knowing yourself is so important, right? You know, like I said, cutting off from social media, taking time out to spend time in nature. And I think probably one of the most powerful things that you can do, and the thing that's been the game changer for me, that's something I do regularly, is journal. Because when you journal, you can really process your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions. And when you do that, you make decisions that are aligned to who you are and what you really feel. So I hope some of those thoughts serve you well. Know thyself.